Okay, this is my video reflection on the counter story No Telling Secrets. We have Antonio and Joanna, who primarily speak Spanish. It's mentioned in the story that although their main language is Spanish, they rarely get to speak it. It then goes on to say why, because later in the story, they were so excited to be speaking Spanish amongst themselves. But just because they were laughing and the teacher couldn't understand, she assumed that it was secrets and instructed them not to do that, not to speak Spanish, basically. They then tried to defend themselves by denying it, that they weren't telling secrets. The teacher then goes on to say, we want to make sure everyone can be a part of conversations. In that case, the teacher should take her own advice in a nice way. Because later on, Johanna is able to solve a math problem with the help of Antonio, since him explaining it in Spanish helped a lot. The teacher then asks her how she did it, but Joanna is ultimately tired of having to work twice as hard, so she just says she doesn't know. The teacher then goes on to say that she should pay attention next time the class goes over it, and then she'll know. If the teacher really truly believed in what she had said earlier in the story, she would make an effort in trying to be a part of Joanna's and Antonio's conversation. Because how are you going to tell someone to not do something when you don't even understand what they're saying? If the teacher made even a little bit of an effort to know Joanna and Antonio's language, I just know they would be so happy. Because as they put in so much effort to be good students, it's as if their teacher is putting none to assist them. She's teaching them as if they are like every other student in the class. However, they are not. They are bilingual students still trying to grasp the English language. It takes hard work to be bilingual, so it's sad when teachers try to force students to one language. I had a friend who was going through this exact situation back in elementary. We were both in elementary. In truth, it's not only hard to learn math in America when your main language is Spanish, it's hard to do every subject. My friend would get home and work on her homework for hours, and most of the time would even cry because she was having a very difficult time. And I remember I couldn't help, or because I knew Spanish but not enough to be a translator, or this means that, this means that. And then her mom mostly spoke Spanish, so her mom couldn't help, and then my mom mostly spoke Spanish. Her parents over in general just spoke Spanish, so she would cry. I remember feeling sad that she had to go through such hardships. I like that now there is such a thing as bilingual schools where it makes it easier for those that primarily speak Spanish. Thank goodness I am bilingual, so I can speak Spanish and English, and I could help out in both languages if needed. However, there are many different languages and races in the world. For instance, I could get someone who speaks primarily German in the future as a student, and I'll tell you right now, I would 100% put in the effort for that student because I know how much effort they are putting in. We now have a useful tool called Google Translate, and I would use that to understand what the student needs help on, because why am I going to force the student to understand what I'm saying? I should also put in the effort into understanding what they are saying. That is what learning is all about.